Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Media Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, LPs or singles, and after I've listened to them all week, I come back here and review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release. The reignited version featuring Sam Bauman and Alexander Salvos of Matthew Parker's song, Burn Like Embers. The reignited version featuring Sam Bauman and Alexander Salvos of Matthew Parker's song, Burn Like Embers. Let's dive into it. So, let's first talk about the definition of reignited. So, originally this song was only put out on Matthew Parker's SoundCloud, but now this is a new version of that song featuring Sam Bauman and Alexander Salvos. And now let's dive into this song. So, pretty good song here. Stylistically, got an EDM feel to it, and instrumentally has synth. Love the synth on this song. Keyboard, bass, drum, plus violin in the bridge. And as for the lyrics here, Matthew talks about how he wishes he could outrun his regrets that burn like embers, but he can't. Up next, The Young Escape's new single, Broken is Beautiful. So before I dive into my thoughts on The Young Escape's new single, Broken is Beautiful, let me just say this came across as a request from You Can't Have It, the Raleigh Girl. Thanks, You Can't Have It, the Raleigh Girl, for requesting this song. David, I'll get to your request of some of the Slumber's new album, Death by Admiration, shortly. But let's talk about The Young Escape first. So, pretty good song here. Stylistically, it's a pop rock ballad in the verses. But then there's this pop burst in the chorus. Instrumentally here we have piano, synth, drum, bass, violin, and bass guitar. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics to this song. Talks about how when it feels hard, don't be afraid to show your scars, because there's a healing God who holds you close and can make your broken beautiful. Up next, some of the Slumber's new album, Death by Admiration. Thanks, You Can't Have It, the Raleigh Girl, for your request of The Young Escape's Broken is Beautiful. Now, David, let's get into your request of some of the Slumber's new album, Death by Admiration. Thanks, David, for requesting this album. Now let's get into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, a hard rock album with metal elements, with strong metal influence here. Especially with the breakdowns, the metal influence really comes through. And as for the heavier to lighter ratio here, so 9 heavier songs on the album, with 1 lighter song at the end of the album, a rock ballad. No, not a worship song, a rock ballad. Can't Say Sorry Enough coming at the end of the album. Instrumentally here, electric guitars and drums is what emphasized, but definitely some bass guitar at work, and some synth as well. And Can't Say Sorry Enough has acoustic guitar, piano, and violin. And as for the vocal work here, singing on all the tracks, screams on a few, plus a rap from Mickey of Relent on the song Snake Mouth. And also, Blaze Rojas, the drummer and son of the lead singer, Joseph Rojas, sings a little bit on the song Some Things Never Change, and he sounds pretty good singing on there. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyric themes here. So, Joseph talks to this person who has given in to the pain of addiction and self-righteously lies to cover it up. But Joseph hopes that this person, before it's too late, turns to the God who is with him, can transform him into the person he's meant to be, and help him win the battle against addiction, never to be brought down by it again. Up next, Canyon Hills Worship's new album, Spirit of God. Canyon Hills Worship's new album, Spirit of God. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, a worship sound that incorporates drum, piano, bass guitar, acoustic guitar, and electric guitar. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too. Touched on a couple different themes. Talks about how revival starts with the Holy Spirit pouring himself afresh to make Jesus the center of our awakened hearts, and in response, following the Spirit who sets us free wherever he leads us. The lyrics also talk about eagerly awaiting the day we join creation's song of praise to Jesus, the one who has set us free and given us our worth, while seeing his face. Up next, our last release for today, the Sparks live recording, Ascent. The Sparks' new live recording, Ascent. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, a worship album that incorporates, and this is what I love about this album, rock and pop rock influences, with emphasis on the rock influence. The sound kind of reminds me of Buffalo Music's Be Lifted High album, or Fearless B&D's Love Ride album, or even the stuff when Fearless B&D was still called Worth Dying For. Kind of reminds me of that sound of worship. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics on this album too. Talks about giving all praise to Jesus, our incomparably glorious God, who gave his life on the cross to set us free from the separation from God and the slavery that sin causes, and through his resurrection reigns forevermore, has given us new life and victory over sin and death. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe. I put out videos every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what I said about them, let me know in the comments below. Also in the comments, you can let me know if there's any awesome releases that came out today that you want to see in next week's video. Also, check out the playlist section for my Music Month and Dreams playlist available here on YouTube and on Spotify. And the new edition for February came out earlier this week. And this month's edition of the playlist featuring the songs I've been listening to in the month of January includes songs from artists like No Big Deal, Ty Brazel, 116, KB, Andy Mineo, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, go now. See you next week. Bye!